Imagine this. What if the sun suddenly disappeared for just 1 second? What would happen? The entire Earth would fall into darkness. Within days, the oceans would begin to freeze. Plants would die. Every civilization humanity has ever built would slowly begin to collapse. But an even bigger question remains. The sun that every breath of life depends on. How was it actually born? Has it always existed? Or was there a time when our entire solar system was nothing but darkness? A place where the sun simply didn't exist? Today, scientists have uncovered evidence suggesting that the sun's story is far more extraordinary than the birth of an ordinary star. It all began billions of years ago with a cosmic event that didn't just create a single star. It laid the foundation for Earth, the Moon, every planet in our solar system, and ultimately, life itself. But despite everything we've learned, this story is still filled with mysteries, because no human has ever witnessed the exact moment when the sun first ignited. Around 4.6 billion years ago, nothing looked the way it does today. There was no Earth, no Moon, no Mars, no rings of Saturn, not even the brilliant sun that rises in our sky every morning. Instead, this region of our galaxy was occupied by a gigantic cloud of gas and cosmic dust. It was so enormous that comparing it to a planet or even a star wouldn't come close. Scientists call this massive cloud a nebula. From a distance, it appeared calm and silent. But deep inside, invisible forces were already shaping the future. Most of this cloud was made of hydrogen gas, the very same hydrogen that would one day become the sun's primary fuel. At that time, however, the gas drifted aimlessly through space, scattered in countless fragments with no clear direction. Then, something happened that changed everything forever. Scientists believe that somewhere near this nebula, a massive star had reached the end of its life. After exhausting its nuclear fuel, it exploded in one of the most violent events in the universe, a supernova. The explosion was so powerful that its shockwave traveled across light years of space. Eventually, those waves reached our quiet nebula and shook it to its core. The gas that had once drifted freely through space slowly began pulling itself together under the force of gravity. The process was incredibly slow. For millions of years, almost nothing seemed to change. But the universe is never in a hurry. As time passed, the cloud continued to collapse. The more it shrank, the hotter and denser its center became. Eventually, a small glowing sphere began forming at the heart of the cloud. It wasn't the sun. Not yet. Scientists call this stage a protostar. From the outside, it looked like an unfinished star. But inside, a process had already begun that would determine the fate of the entire solar system. As more gas fell inward, the protostar gained mass. Its gravity grew stronger. The pressure inside increased dramatically. Temperatures in its core climbed into the millions of degrees. With every passing 1,000 years, the protostar became hotter, denser, and more powerful. Yet it still lacked the one thing that separates a true star from everything else. This is where the story becomes even more fascinating, because not every protostar in the universe survives. Some never become stars at all. Some remain incomplete. Others end their lives as brown dwarfs. If this growing object had contained just a little less mass, our sun might never have been born. And without the sun, Earth would never have existed. But this time, the universe had a different plan. As the pressure continued to rise, it finally crossed a critical threshold after millions of years. The core reached nearly 15 million degrees Celsius. Then, for the very first time, hydrogen atoms began fusing together to form helium. This process is known as nuclear fusion. In that very instant, an unimaginable amount of energy was released. The newborn star that had spent millions of years hidden in darkness finally burst into light. That was the true birth of our sun. But the sun's birth marked the beginning of an even greater story. The remaining gas and dust continued spinning around it at incredible speed. Over millions of years, that swirling disk would give birth to planets, moons, asteroids, and comets. In other words, the material that formed our own planet was once part of the very same cloud that created the sun. Which means every one of us is, in some way, part of the sun's origin story. But will the sun continue shining forever? Or will it someday meet its own end? And if the sun dies, what will happen to Earth? That is the mystery we'll uncover in the next chapter.